Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Tease Time with TJ. It's a good day. We're finally getting to start to assemble our main kitchen cabinet area. Stove will live here under the exhaust fan. Countertops will float over the fridge. This is about 3 feet high. So like we should have countertop over the fridge. The measurements are somewhat right. I did check them. I'm going to check them again because I think I undercut, so I might have to go get more plywood. But this is what I'm going for right here. This is the countertop. I just have my little cutouts for like the angles, like right there. That's cut out for that. And then for this cutout, that's where the stove will live. And then it's just like the cabinets, like the face frames around like the stove and under the stove. And even for our kick panels, I have to take all that stuff into consideration. And then also a cutout for our diesel heater. So that way there's a whole access panel for the kick panel to go around that. Yeah, so this is probably like the complication that I have to do before I want to say majority of like stuff is done. Then we just have to plumb like our propane. We have to do our wire. I need to order water storage tanks. I need to get on that because that's probably gonna take a little bit to show up. And then also for the shower, I need to get that situated also. But like this right here will like definitely make the interior seem to the point where it's almost complete, where it just needs to do like the cabinet doors. So I'm pleased to actually be able to get to this point right now. These are the pieces I have pre-cut. My measurements might be off, like I said before. I'm gonna go and just try to like test fit everything before I go get more. I'm using birch plywood for like all the cabinets in here. So right now I'm gonna test fit again, double check, measure, make sure everything is good. Like it might be all right, like I don't know, but we just had to take a consideration even for like around like the mini fridge. I believe it has to have like an inch or two like around like the top and bottom just for circulation and for the rear of the fridge. So we just have to keep all that in mind. And that's like the part where I was kind of thinking like if I undercut like the kick panel, just yeah, like I could probably just add like a piece of kick panel, but yeah, let's test fit and just see how everything lines up. All right, so it appears we definitely have some adjustments that need to be made. But like what I'm gonna start with, the most important part is the opening for the stove, because the stove will sit here in between this to line up with the exhaust fan. So I'm gonna focus on assembling the box section for the stove to live, and then like I could build around that. But I believe like at the bottom, like it might be off right here with the little base frame that holds like that opening right there for the diesel heater. That might be off. But like I said, like the most important part of this build or for this cabinet right here is gonna be the stove opening, just so that like the stove sits in where it's supposed to sit in, a nice even flush, and then everything else can be built around that. And like even like with the face frames, like I'm gonna save that for last because like if need be I can shift stuff over to get everything lined up just right. But like the most important part right now is just getting that lined up for the stove. And then everything else after that will fall into place, and then I can adjust and get like more wood if need be. Like I do have like some scrap wood or extra wood just to build like the box frame for the bottom, the kick panel. So like that also, all that will be after I assemble for the the oven opening. yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. I do have a lot of pocket holes, like I said before. Check back previous videos if you want to see that. I think like I showed actually how to use it when I did the upper cabinet section there. I showed you actually how to use the little pocket jig by Craig. So go back to check that out. I'm not going to be repetitive and show you me cutting a bunch of pocket holes or drilling a bunch of pocket holes. So I'm just going to get everything fitted. And yeah, we're gonna do that box, pocket holes, cut, remeasure, measure, just so we have a nice and clean install. I don't want a bunch of gaps. I need that to be as close to perfection as possible. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna go get pocket hole stuff set up. We're gonna get that carcass, and I'm gonna recheck the measurements for the stove also, just to make sure I have all that stuff correct. And then we'll go from there. So yeah, stay tuned. All right, so this is where we are right now. This is the opening for where the stove will live. The stove will live over here, of course, on this side. I just have it over here out of the way. Recording kind of got a little messed up when I assembled this, but I wanted everything to be based off of where the stove sit in relation to the exhaust fan. So like that's perfectly aligned. So I did have to go ahead and have to recut stuff. So I have everything already recut. I have pocket holes for everything. And just to like save myself some money, because the price of wood is crazy right now. I just needed like an extra piece because I had to expand like the kick panel. Like you'll see it when I get everything built. Just a little wider to make sure that that lined up perfectly centered with the exhaust fan. But just to make this work, I just need to add this piece right here onto this. So I did pocket holes to attach this onto this piece of like birch that I have. But the only thing is I forgot to remember when I was doing the pocket holes that I need to do pocket holes after I attached the extra piece. So I did mess up, but it's all good. It's still gonna work out. Like I had these holes right here and they're kind of like offset from the pocket holes in the front. So I'm going to assemble, I'm going to add the extra piece on this side, and then I'm probably just going to use extra long pocket holes on this side. Extra longer pocket holes on this side to make it through, because the pocket holes are actually supposed to be like over on this side, a little further over. So if I use some longer ones, like it'll still be able to go through and bite into what I need to bite into. So I'm gonna save this. I'm not gonna throw it away. I'm not gonna go buy more wood. And I've been making do with the wood that I do have and that I did have. And so all that's extra. That's the pile. But like we have everything all set, ready to cut. So let me get stuff situated. We're gonna start assembling. I'm gonna do everything's gonna be based off of this, and then the kick panel. So I want to actually get like the kick panel attached to like the bottom of this to figure out exactly where I need to have that, and then everything will be built in place in this section right here where the countertops will actually live. Where the cabinets will actually live right here, just to make life easier. And it's hot outside, so I have the AC running right now. So you probably hear that extra noise. That's just AC. It's like 95 today. It's hot. So I already have all my pocket holes and stuff situated, so that way I can work inside to make life easier for me. But enough talking. Let's get to it. Let's get this assembled and done. And this is like I think like the last piece of the puzzle for cabinets, except for the cabinet doors. But we'll get to that. And that actually turned out pretty well. That's the extra piece. This is the side that's going to be on the back. This is going to be the exposed side right there. That's the back. This part will live right here like so. So we'll be able to send like a longer screws through right there to actually get some bite. But like it might be even good even like without that, even if I just did the top and the sides, that should be good enough. It should be good, but I'm gonna attempt to throw some longer screws in. So yeah, let's continue with this. Get these pieces assembled. So the base frame or the kick toe, the toe box, toe panel, the baseboard of the cabinet, that's coming up right now. So yeah. Alright, so this is the upside down cabinet right now, just so I can attach the kick panel right here to the bottom of the base for the cabinets. What I want is 2.5 inches right here. So 2.5 plus 3/4 will bring us to 3 1/4 for that total kick once I have like the face frames on here. So that should be plenty, and it's enough room to clear like the hardware where I have my propane tanks mounted to through the floor. So all that should be good. Right now I just want to get this square, and then we'll flip everything back over and we'll start like assembling. But like this is like the key point, and everything is based off of like this, the centerpiece for where the stove will actually live. So let me keep going. I'm just going to measure, get everything squared up. I'm aiming for 2.5 inches. That's why I have those marks right there. So I'll line up both sides, and I'll probably throw another 2.5 mark right there, so we can just make sure everything is square. I'm going to add some glue to the bottom of that, get everything clamped in place, and then get everything screwed together, and then we'll flip it back over, and then we'll just build up from that. Yeah. All right, so this is where we are so far. After this assembled, I need to do the face frame still, so that's coming up right now. But what I was saying, where I did the pocket holes too far out, they're supposed to be kind of closer in. I threw what is that, a 2.5 inch screw through, so it comes through and like it pokes out just a little bit. Like this is dead space because this is where the stove will live, so like this is the dimensions for that, and then the gas hole will be right here, so that's just empty space anyway. So it worked out nice. I just didn't want to throw like a more pocket hole, just a bunch of like random extra like pocket holes on there. So that's good. Everything is attached, everything is sturdy, it's good. What I was doing, like when I was doing this stuff, I was just trying to get like the back pieces aligned correctly. So it's just measuring like the 4 corners and playing with that to get that right, so that way like everything lines up. Well, there'll still be like some give when I do like the face frames, because there's like a little wiggle room on the sides, on the ends anyway, but like not for really like too much for the center. But yeah, let me get more measurements. And this wood right here, it's going to be like the same thing as this. It's just going to be a smaller version, just to fill the gap right there, and it has something for the cabinet, not the cabinet, for the countertops to rest on. So I'm not going to show that, but I'm just going to get the face frames assembled, and then once I have the face frames assembled, we're going to get those all attached. Because like once everything is attached, then I could do my measurements for my cabinet doors. I think I'm gonna order those. They're like a shaker style, just to kind of save me time, and just like I've done like so much right now. You just kind of, I don't know, you gotta, I don't know, weigh the pros and cons of your time. So it's either was it time, quality, and price. You can't get all three. So I've done everything so far. I think I'm just going to have somebody make the cabinet doors, just make life easier for me, and I just have to worry about painting and attaching them. But let me get face frames built, and we shall continue. All right, so this is where we are right now. This is what we have so far. This is the face frame for the cabinet. It's kind of floating like at this bottom edge right here. That'll be down at the corner of the cabinet right there. But like I just don't have a pocket hole in that. I probably could add one, but it just kind of actually leaves a little bit more room for adjustment, because there are pocket holes that will hold the cabinet like once it's in there. So it should be good, and then we could just like space that, get that right. But everything is aligned up, and the only thing that's holding like this top portion, this top rectangle, is this single piece right here. So you just have to be careful so we don't pull the screws out. So I'm gonna get this mounted, gonna get it mocked up. Yeah, should be good. I just have to find a way to mount it on there, just get it hanging on. I'm gonna use the clamps just to get everything in place, and then we'll go from there. We'll get all the sides, the edges, the important lines, like the outside, we want that line to be flush, and both sides to actually be flush, and the insides can kind of give a little bit, but the main ones that you will see, we want those to be aligned real nice. And then I also, as promised, I went ahead and assembled the Fox, the fake cabinet, and this is just to kind of help support the countertop when I put it in. So it'll rest on there and it floats over the fridge. So all this will be counter space, minus where the stove will live. And then like I can add like some planks to go across from side to side just to connect them, and they have something to screw into the countertop. But like I'm gonna save that for a later time, just for when I get the cabinet, not the cabinet, but the countertops in. I have to get those cut it, but then it also leaves me room to like adjust if I need to like angle stuff, and then I can just mount through the wall that way. But I'm not gonna fix it to the walls now until I actually have my countertops, so that way I can kind of just make it like square, make it line up, make it look good. But like everything's coming along nice. So enough talking. Let's assemble or attach the face frame to the cabinet and be done. So yeah. And bada boom, bada bing, it's in, it's installed, it's finished, it's all set. We just have to do countertops eventually. That's what I have right here. This is just propped in place just so I can see like for measurements. The countertop needs to have like about, is it 15, 16, pretty much an inch overhang like so. And then also like I'm sure probably about like about 1/8 to 3/16. So if it's overhanging a little bit, like we add like a little bit of space like so, to raise that, and you won't see that it's raised, you won't see the gap like once the countertop is in place. So that's cool. So the opening for the oven is good where it's at, we're good. So the only thing left to do is get the countertops cut to finish all like this space. So yeah, we're getting there. I am very proud of myself for the state of the van. We come this far. Yeah, definitely over the hill. It's just kind of getting to the point where I could just actually like chill a little bit when I have some free time. So that's kind of the hope. The future plan is actually give a minute to just be able to relax. But like, yeah, I'm definitely proud of myself. Yeah, we're making it happen. It's coming along. I have everything set so I can actually order cabinet doors. I don't think I'm going to build those just so I can save myself some time and effort. Like, I've done everything so far. Just some cabinet doors. It's kind of like that last like 5% of like a job can make or break a project. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just probably, well, I'm gonna look around and order cabinet doors if I could find like a good source, a decent price, good quality, all of the above. But we're getting there. Yeah, we're definitely getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. I've been saying that for the longest, but we definitely are. Even like the scrap pile, I'm actually having more room to move as we build. So like that's a scrap pile. I think I might actually be done with like all the wood cutting except for like the countertop, which is a sigh of relief for me. Aha, yeah. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna have for next Wednesday, but I'm definitely gonna have some for next Wednesday. I've been keeping my word. I've been going strong every Wednesday until like at least get all of this built out inside. And then that's when there's be a break time for me. But I'm going strong. I think we got like a couple years in right now. But yeah, so until next Wednesday, I probably said it before, failure is not an option, especially when you're probably the hardest working person you know, most reliable. Failure is definitely not an option. Sink or float. Peace. TJ.